A bookstore sold 2 pens for every 1 book sold. Each book costs $5 and each pen costs $2. If the store collected $216, how many pens were sold? Alright, so this question again is an assumption question. Oh, no, it's not an assumption question because they already give you the proportion of how many pens and how many books were sold. Alright, a bookstore sold 2 pens for every 1 book sold. That means you do grouping. So this is a grouping question. You have 2 pens. Okay, so in every 1 book, okay, you can break it down to many of these groups because if you follow this rule, a bookstore sold 2 pens for every 1 book sold. Just imagine you taking 2 pens from a bookstore. You have to match it with 1 book. If not, by the end of the day, you won't have this proportion, 2 pens for every 1 book sold. So that means when you are putting into individual bags or individual groups, okay, 1 group will have 2 pens and 1 book. Alright, so that's called grouping. Okay, so in total, you also have, for every 2 pens you have 1 book. Each book costs $5 and each pen costs $2. So I'll just take $2, which is the price of a pen, multiply by 2. Okay, that is how much you will spend on the pen per group. And then 1 book is $5. So you take $4, which is the total you spend on a pen in 1 group, plus that $5 of a book. So that means 1 group is $9. Now that we know how much cost you are going to pay for 1 group, okay, you will just need to do division. Alright, so how many groups do you need to make $216? That is the question you should ask. $216 divided by 9. Okay, so $216 divided by $9. I'm taking the total amount that the store collected divided by the proportion. Okay, the value of 1 group. Okay, so to find out how many groups the bookstore sold. Alright, so 216 divided by 9. Alright, that will give you 24. These are actually the number of groups. I specifically stopped here because I want and wrote down the number of groups because many students make mistake here. Alright, they think 24 is automatically the answer. Sometimes it is, but if you automatically assume, then if you're correct, it's just lucky. Alright, so you have that means the bookstore sold 24 groups of 2 pens and 1 book. So the last step will be 24 groups multiplied by 2 pens because in 1 group there will be 2 pens. Alright, so answer is 48.